Welcome to another AI pattern recognition deep dive.
Today we're tackling something huge. What happens to, well, us, to human purpose, when machines can seemingly do everything?
It's a big question.
Yet the speed of AI development is just dizzying. And it's not just about jobs anymore, is it? It feels like it's shaking our very sense of meaning.
Exactly. A potential existential shift.
So our mission today is to explore this really groundbreaking idea called purpose AI. It's pitched as an AI specifically designed to help us, humanity, find and sustain purpose when, the old ways are kind of fading.
And what's really interesting is our source material today. It's not just some thought piece. It's presented as a full-on purpose AI. A new civilizational blueprint.
A blueprint, wow.
Yeah, it really dives deep. It looks at the actual AI mechanisms needed, the huge societal shifts, and crucially, the ethical side of things. It doesn't shy away from the complexities.
Okay, let's unpack this then. So the blueprint says AI might free us from, boring work, but could also create this existential void. What's this crisis it's warning about? What's the core idea?
Well, the core insight is this fundamental tension. AI is automating tasks that for a long time have been really central to how we see ourselves, our identity.
Like earning a living, contributing.
Exactly. Things that give structure.
Yeah.
And when those go or change drastically, it threatens those frameworks. The report actually calls it a purpose crisis. Even uses terms like existential and spiritual catastrophe.
Wow.
Yeah, a situation where being needed is optional.
Yeah.
So it's way beyond just losing jobs. It's about the foundation of identity may be crumbling.
So the real worry isn't just job displacement then. It's this much deeper thing, this loss of meaning. That question, what's the point in learning anything, suddenly feels very urgent.
It does.
And the report calls the promise of freedom from work a liberation delusion. Like, it's a false promise if we don't have new reasons, new meanings to fill that space. It's not real freedom if we're just adrift.
Precisely, yeah. This massive shift means we basically have to rethink how society works fundamentally, moving beyond purpose, being tied almost solely to your job. It means we need a new definition, maybe rooted in things only humans can really do well: creativity, critical thinking, relationships, solving complex, messy human problems that machines just can't.
Okay, so here's where it gets really fascinating. The report proposes this purpose AI to tackle this crisis.
Yeah.
So if we're facing this purpose crisis, how does this AI actually help? What's its job, fundamentally?
Well, it's not supposed to be some, all-knowing oracle telling you what your purpose is. That's not the idea.
Right.
Think of it more like a dynamic co-pilot, a cognitive and existential co-pilot. It's really an augmentation tool.
Okay, co-pilot.
Its role is to help individuals and even communities find their own why, but it does this not by giving answers, but more like acting as a mirror.
A mirror.
Yeah, reflecting things back, asking thought-provoking questions, maybe revealing patterns you hadn't seen before. The goal is deeper self-awareness, self-actualization.
So it blends AI's strengths, like processing power, memory, finding patterns with uniquely human things, like intuition, generalization, context, ethical thinking.
Yeah.
But hang on. That raises a big question, doesn't it? How can the same technology that's causing the problem, or at least contributing to it, also be the solution? That feels paradoxical.
Yeah, and the blueprint tackles that paradox head-on. It argues a purpose AI has to be designed not just to help people find meaning, but to actively help us manage that tension by facilitating that shift in how we as a society define purpose. Moving us away from just the work-based model, its core job is to stop that liberation delusion becoming a trap and instead guide us towards something, well, more deeply human.
Okay, let's dive into the mechanics then.
Nice.
What are the key AI bits driving this? What's actually under the hood of this purpose AI?
Okay, first up is advanced pattern recognition. This is basically its ability to spot regularities, trends, connections within huge amounts of different kinds of data, visual, sound, text, numbers.
Like a digital detective.
Kind of, yeah. Tirelessly searching for subtle clues. So just like AI might predict, say, what a customer might buy, this could help predict human behavioral patterns or health trends, guiding you towards better well-being or personal growth.
And it needs this universal multimodal sense-making engine, integrating data from everywhere: genomics, wearables, behavior, economics, social stuff. A really complete picture.
Precisely. That's key. It finds patterns not just within one area, but across different, seemingly unrelated areas of your life.
Ah, okay.
That's crucial for spotting those hidden connections, giving you a genuinely holistic view of your life, your situation, your context.
So if it's constantly looking at our lives, how does it, learn and evolve with us? What makes it responsive?
Right, that's the adaptive learning and self-correction part. It's about its ability to learn and adjust on the fly, in real time, a bit like how humans adapt. It constantly looks at its own suggestions or outputs and tweaks its internal workings to get better, like a coach adjusting advice based on how an athlete is responding. It uses things like reinforcement learning, systems that let the AI effectively learn from mistakes based on feedback.
And the report mentions this human-in-the-loop idea where your progress feeds back in, but it also says it needs to be more than just accurate. What does that mean?
That's a really important point about its actual goal. If the AI gives advice that's, say, logically correct, but it ends up making you more stressed or anxious, or you start distrusting it.
Right, that's not helpful.
Exactly. The system needs to recognize that as a bad outcome and change its approach. It's this idea of machine reflection. So its goal isn't just accuracy, it's being genuinely beneficial for your well-being, for your sense of purpose.
That's a big shift. But how does it actually keep tabs on our well-being? I'm thinking of that Sentinel system mentioned. Sounds powerful, but maybe a bit intrusive.
Yeah, the Sentinel system, it's basically anomaly detection for well-being. It continuously monitors your biometric data, behavioral data from wearables, looking for deviations from your personal baseline, your normal.
So it could flag health risks early,
Yeah.
like changes in heart rate or activity.
Potentially, yes. Real-time, personalized alerts.
Yeah.
But you're right to flag the other side. This power brings a real tension. What if your behavior changes because you've had a philosophical insight or made a conscious choice to live differently?
The AI might see it as an anomaly.
Exactly, which could cause anxiety or subtly push you back towards conformity. That's the risk of it becoming this digital leviathan the report warns about, a sort of benevolent dictator.
Oof.
Yeah, so it absolutely needs human oversight, strong ethical guardrails. It has to be a guide, a trusted guide, not a judge or a constant supervisor.
Okay, so beyond the tech specs, how would this purpose AI actually weave into our lives, like the different parts of our existence? Where would we see it?
Right. Let's start with the inner world. Our own health, our well-being. By constantly gathering that physiological data from wearables, heart activity, glucose, maybe other biomarkers, and mixing it with medical records, genomic info.
You can see patterns, we can.
Exactly, patterns invisible to us, or even doctors sometimes. This pushes healthcare towards being preventative, not just reactive. Think truly personalized medicine, proactive health management.
And what about as a guide for personal growth? Finding our way.
It acts as an accessible, non-judgmental guide, maybe through micro-coaching sessions, little prompts helping you set goals, maybe manage emotions, clarify what you really value. It supports that human need for self-actualization, seeing it as a journey, not an endpoint.
Like a mirror again.
Exactly.
Right.
Reflecting your own stuff back to you for clarity, helping you discover things yourself.
Now, the report flags a critical danger here. Algorithmic bias.
Yeah.
What if it's trained mainly on data from, say, young, healthy guys? Couldn't it give bad advice or set a flawed baseline for purpose for everyone else? How does the blueprint handle that?
That's a huge point, yeah. And that kind of bias isn't just a tech glitch, it's systemic. It could easily make existing health gaps, social inequalities, even worse.
Right.
So building this right means, from the very beginning, a massive commitment to getting fair, diverse data and designing the algorithms carefully to make sure it offers good, equitable guidance for everyone, not just one group. It needs constant vigilance.
Okay, let's move outward to the social fabric. How does Purpose AI affect things like education, communication, our relationships?
Well, in education, AI is already making waves with adaptive learning platforms, right? Personalizing lessons. The report sees AI's role here as augmenting teachers, freeing them up from some of the repetitive stuff to do more mentoring, focusing on critical thinking, empathy, the human stuff.
So enhancing teachers, not replacing them.
That's the vision.
And what about the problems we see online now, like filter bubbles, the resonance effect, where we only hear echoes of our own views? How does it stop that?
A Purpose AI would have to be specifically designed to fight against that, using principles of serendipity.
Serendipity, like engineered accidents.
Kind of. Deliberately showing you valuable, maybe unexpected information, different perspectives you wouldn't normally bump into. Like a really good curator for your digital life, making sure you encounter things that broaden your horizons, not just confirm them. It's about fostering a more dynamic, open digital space.
That leads nicely to this idea of human AI centaurs. What does that actually mean for how we work or live with AI?
Yeah, the centaur metaphor. It suggests as a fundamental partnership. AI handles the heavy lifting with data, the repetitive tasks. Humans bring the intuition, the context, the ethical judgment, the creativity.
Man with machine, not versus.
Exactly. It's not just about getting things done faster. It's about unlocking totally new ways of thinking, solving problems, being creative. It lets humans focus on the complex, the empathetic, the uniquely human aspects of any task.
Okay, let's zoom out further. The global stage, economics, politics, the environment. How does Purpose AI play out there?
It basically scales up those pattern recognition and prediction skills. So in economics, think analyzing massive data sets to forecast market trends, GDP, inflation, maybe with more accuracy than before.
And politics.
It could monitor indicators, run simulations, maybe reveal those hidden power dynamics or unspoken rules that shape events, helping citizens and civil society push for more transparency, more participation.
And the environment, that seems like a natural fit.
Huge potential there. Analyzing satellite data, drone footage, sensor networks to spot deforestation early, predict extreme weather, track emissions, much faster, much more comprehensively than we can now.
So if you tie all that together, the economics, politics, environment,
Yeah.
what's the bigger picture for us as a species?
Well, the really big potential here is that a purposed AI could identify these huge, complex, cross-domain causal links, things humans struggle to see because they span different fields and long timescales.
Like connecting political shifts to economic trends to environmental changes.
Exactly. Seeing how they all influence each other, getting that truly holistic grasp of our reality of the situation on a planetary level, that's probably essential if humanity is ever going to form a real collective sense of purpose and tackle these massive global challenges together.
Wow. Okay. This future sounds incredibly different. But it also makes you wonder, how will we actually interact with these systems day to day?
Hmm.
What will the tools look like? And what happens to jobs?
Yeah. The blueprint envisions a whole ecosystem of these purpose-driven tools. Things like personalized coaching apps, sure, but also much more advanced wearables going way beyond step counting to monitor holistic health in real time.
And robots.
Yeah, AI-powered robots and especially cobots, collaborative robots,
Right.
working alongside humans, maybe as companions, assistants, particularly in areas like elder care or healthcare, freeing up human time and energy for the caregiving, the creativity.
But having AI physically present like that.
It makes all those ethical questions, data privacy, losing autonomy, bias, feel much more immediate, much more personal, doesn't it? When the AI isn't just on your screen, but in your home, interacting physically.
Definitely. And the job market. The report admits AI will displace routine jobs, but it also talks about this new human augmentation economy. What's that?
It's about fundamentally shifting how work is divided. AI takes on the data crunching, the repetitive stuff. Humans then focus on the higher value activities that need skills AI just doesn't have. Creativity, empathy, complex critical thinking, ethical judgment.
So it's less about what machines can do and more about what only humans can do.
Exactly. It reframes value around unique human contribution.
So what are some of these new jobs, these indispensable roles in the purpose economy?
The report lists several examples. Things like AI ethics specialist ensuring fairness, alignment with our values, prompt engineer getting the best out of generative AI literacy trainer helping everyone understand and use these tools.
Makes sense.
Also, health tech implementation specialist, AI augmented therapist, human AI workflow designer. But they're more than just job titles. The report frames them as shifting from jobs to maybe vocations.
Vocations.
Yeah, roles that are deeply human-centric, requiring that ethical reasoning, empathy, collaboration. Your value comes from your uniquely human input in a world where automation is common.
Okay, but this whole vision, it really rides on trust, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How do we make sure this purpose AI is built and used responsibly? How do we stop it going wrong?
Absolutely paramount. Building public trust is everything. And the blueprint says that comes down to predictability and transparency. Two key ideas here.
Yeah.
First, transparency. That means being open about the data used, the algorithms, how decisions are made, basically answering what happened here.
And the second.
Explainability. That's making the reasoning behind a specific decision understandable to a person, answering how and why did it suggest this. For a system guiding big life choices, you have to be able to understand and trust its reasoning.
And humans need to be involved all the way through. oversight is critical.
Absolutely critical. That human-in-the-loop model means a person can step in, override, guide the process at every stage. It has to align with ethical frameworks that put human dignity, human autonomy first.
So checks and balances.
Yes. The report strongly suggests things like establishing an independent AI ethics committee with people from tech, law, ethics, sociology to oversee development and ensure compliance. It's a vital step for responsible progress.
The report must also highlight the big risks, right? How this could become dystopian if we're not careful. What are the main ones?
It does. 3 central risks really stand out. First, people becoming overly reliant on the AI's guidance, losing their own agency, their ability to make independent choices. That's the digital Leviathan trap again. The system has to boost autonomy, not reduce it.
Okay, what else?
Second, algorithmic bias, which we touched on. If the training data isn't representative, it can perpetuate and even worsen existing inequalities. Constant auditing, diverse teams building it, those are crucial defenses.
And the third?
Third is the huge privacy and security risks. We're talking continuous, real-time data collection from wearables, potentially other sources. That data is incredibly sensitive.
So things like strong encryption, giving users fine-grained control over their data, strict adherence to privacy laws like GDPR or HIPAA, real-time security monitoring, those are absolute must-haves.
Non-negotiable, yeah. The privacy of your inner world, your thoughts, your health, that has to be sacred for a system that's supposed to help you find purpose. These safeguards are the bedrock of trust. Without them, the whole thing falls apart.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening and for us as a society? I mean, this deep dive shows Purpose AI isn't just some far-off sci-fi idea. It's laid out here as a structured, plausible blueprint.
Right.
Grounded in AI we already understand, but aimed squarely at tackling its potential existential crisis from automation.
And it's proposed not just as like a new app or product, but as a whole new way of organizing things, a new civilizational paradigm, really, a deep collaboration between humans and machines.
To make sure that as we automate the old work,
We unlock the future's purpose. But its success hinges entirely on designing it deliberately, thoughtfully, to augment us, our intelligence, creativity, empathy, not replace us.
and the blueprint gives a clear roadmap, doesn't it? Start with research, ethics first, then prototyping pilots, and finally scaling it up with education, making sure people are AI literate.
Indeed. It really frames the future of humanity in this age of AI as depending not just on what machines can do for us, but fundamentally on what they can help us become.
Yeah.
And Purpose AI is positioned as the key tool for navigating that transition, for redefining what a meaningful life looks like when work as we knew it changes.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. Imagine if AI could genuinely act as that mirror to your own why. If it could reveal hidden patterns, connections in your own life you never saw before. What purpose, maybe lying dormant right now, might you discover?
And scaling that up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What collective purpose might we, as humanity, uncover for ourselves on a planetary scale if we had such a tool? That's a profound question to think about.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
We'll see you soon.
This is DigitView.